Bon appetit. Oh my gosh, you're in for a treat. One of my top 5 favorite soups to make. Super easy to make. A beautiful creamy mushroom soup that is healthy, delightful, delicious. Oh my gosh, you can make this in less than an hour with prep time. And let me tell you, it is amazing. So check out this video. Subscribe if you want to see my other recipes. Check it out. So, oh my gosh. Look at all these beautiful mushrooms. So I have shiitake mushrooms here. And I have these miniature portobello mushrooms or button mushrooms brown. You can use either or. The difference is these we're going to slice and de-stem. So we're going to break off the stem, twist, and then we're going to slice it, and I'm going to throw it in our bowl. Now, all these you got to clean. Now there's a difference. If your mushroom has ribs, you cannot wash them. You can right before you use them, but we're making a beautiful mushroom soup. So, best thing to do is to wipe it off. Woo, like that. And then just twist the stem off. Now these stems, I'm going to save them for a stock. They make wonderful stock. And we're just going to slice these. You don't have to be fancy with this because it's all going to go in the pot and cook. Now, the mushrooms that don't have the ribbon, you can wash them, or you can use a pastry brush. In this case, I'm just going to cut the stem after I brush them, and I'm going to slice them. I am not going to get them wet because I am going to put all these in one place, because when they go in, they're all going to go in the same place. So you're going to need 2 pounds of mushrooms. You can pick any mushroom you want to do this soup. It's wonderful. I just picked these 2 because, I like them. So anyways, you're going to need also an onion, a shallot. You're going to need about 2 or 3 cloves, maybe 4 cloves of garlic. You're going to crush it and slice it. The onion, we're going to just peel it and slice it. The shallot, same thing, and dice it. Then you're going to need some rosemary, some sage, and some parsley. Really, the parsley is going to be for just garnishment. But we're going to bundle these 2 together and tie them up. You're going to need some olive oil. You're going to need 6 cups. Oh my gosh, 6 cups of chicken stock, which, look at my beautiful chicken stock. Came up beautifully. If you want to see, I'll put a link to how to make that. And then you're going to need some heavy cream and 2 tablespoons of butter. And that's it to do this dish. So I'm going to just prep all this, and I showed you how to do the mushrooms, and the rest is pretty simple. This, we're just going to tie it together. Here, I'll show you how to do that right now. Not hard. Get a string, butcher string, throw it across, tie it, and there you go. Now, if you only have dried herbs, you can use this is my trick, a tea container to hold these. So there we go. This is what I use. It's really easy, stick it in there. If my rosemary is really loose, I will stick it in there as well. But anyways, steep chip. All right, we'll be back. Let me get all this ready, and we'll make this in a jiffy. It's very easy to make. Takes 30 minutes to cook it, sauteing a little bit, maybe 5-10 minutes. So total time, about prep, everything, an hour. and you'll have a lot of soup left over. Just wonderful. Oh my God, delicious. We'll be back. Okay, because I try to teach in my videos for, you know, people that just got started to people that know what they're doing. Yeah, so I'm just going to show you what I did. I peeled my onion, cut it in half, and this is Steve's way to slice it easily and quickly. So I cut it in half because it's easier. Always make sure that the blade is not going to hit your fingers. Hold them in like that. Okay? So that's the onion. And I'm just slicing that. The garlic, I cut the tip where it's hard. Push it aside. And then you have two ways. You can hit it, or you can rub it around your fingers. And usually I show you how I hit it. So I'm going to show you the other way. You just can do this. Twist. And there you go. You got your garlic peeled. And then in this case, I need these guys just sliced. And don't worry about doing a beautiful job, because all this is going to be pureed. So you puree. So we're going to use a blender. Well, you can use a blender. You can use a handheld blender. You can use a food processor. You can use whatever you have in your kitchen. And we'll come back to that later. But I'm just going to dice these lightly. I'm not really worried about doing too much with them. The shallot, again, I'm going to cut in half. I peeled it. And then I'm just going to rock and motion go across. Beautiful. Push that to the side. Rock and motion. Like that. Notice I keep my fingers in. And there we go. Keep your fingers in. And go across. Move the onion, not your blade. It's easier. And there we go. Here I move my blade. So it's getting to the end. But anyway. I'm putting all this in one bowl because it's all going to go together. So I am going to heat up my oil. I'm going to move the camera so you can see what I'm doing, and we'll be back. So hang in there. Okay. So we're back. I hope you can see this. Yeah, you can. Wonderful. All right. So now I put the heat on a medium high. Now I'm going to put my olive oil, about a good 2 tablespoons, no, a tablespoon. And we're going to let that oil come to temperature. And we just need a little wooden thing here to help us out. And we're just going to dump all this in there. This soup is so easy to make, and it's so delicious. This is a staple of France, and it's literally one of my top 5 favorite soups in the world. So we're just going to actually just saute this until it's softened. I would say about, a good 5 to 8 minutes on a medium heat, I should say, not medium high. And we're just going to stir that, and we'll be back in a few when it's softened. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes, and it's starting to soften, and you can smell the garlic and onions and the shallot. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my rosemary and my sage. I'm going to throw it in there, and I'm just going to drop some olive oil lightly over my herbs. And I'm just going to stir that lightly into, and that's just going to give everything a little flavor here. There we go. And now I'm just going to lower the temperature to medium-low. About 5 minutes more. And we'll be back. Okay. It's been a few minutes. We're back. It's been a few minutes. My beautiful onions, garlic has softened. I'm going to season. A little salt. And then I am going to drop all these mushrooms in there. I'm going to raise my temperature to medium-high. And I'm just going to stir this, and the goal is to make it sweat. And when all the liquid evaporates, then we're going to add our stock. And we'll be back shortly. It's super simple. I love this dish. Okay. So my mushrooms, you notice, just like reduced quite a bit. And I've been stirring a lot. And you need to. Just be careful with your sage and rosemary that you don't beat that up. You just work around it. And this takes about we're like 6 minutes in. Probably take another couple minutes before it's where I want. Remember, the mushrooms are sweating, and I want them to pretty much evaporate. Yeah, we're almost there. And then we're going to drop our stock. Now, you might notice that I kept some mushrooms, sliced, some pretty ones. And I'm going to gently saute those later, and that's going to be for garnish for my soup. Yeah, I'm going to make it pretty. All right, so we're going to give this a few more minutes, and we'll be back. Okay, we are back. Now, this is optional, what I'm about to do. So now that my mushrooms have sweated and pretty good, a good evaporation, do not do this step, and this is optional. I'm going to just add a little brandy in here to give it a little flavor. Not much. About a quarter cup, and I'm just going to deglaze this and give the mushrooms another minute. You don't have to do this, but it adds a little flavor that I think is wonderful. All right, like that. Yeah, we're just going to give that like a good 30 seconds, and then I'm going to add my stock. Lower the heat at this point, and let's say that's about 30 seconds, right? I'm going to drop my beautiful chicken stock in here. And now we're going to bring this to a simmer, and we're going to simmer it for 30 minutes. Now, this is very important. Take your spatula, your wooden spatula. I like using wood because it doesn't scratch your pots or anything. But anyways, I'm scraping the bottom, if you notice. You notice the color? How my soup is turning already? Oh, look at that brown, beautiful color. And the chicken stock was like a light golden color. But you see what the mushrooms did already? Oh, gosh. All right, we're going to bring this to a simmer. 30 minutes, and magic's happening. We'll be back. We're simmering this. This is what simmer looks like. A gentle boil. And we're going to do that for 30 minutes. And look at that flavor. Just, oh my gosh. So, I sliced some bread, 2 per person, and I took a very good extra virgin olive oil and drizzled it on the bread. I'm going to broil that, and then I'm going to add a little bit of Parmesan on that and stick it back in there and let it melt on there, and that will be served with the soup. Yeah, that's going to be good. Well, we got 4 minutes left on this. You don't have to stir it, but I give it a little shake there. But I just sliced my bread, put a little olive oil on it, threw it under the broiler, so that's going on. And now I'm going to put this guy on. Yeah, I'm old school. I have to see the flame. I'm going to add a little olive oil. There we go. And by the way, if you're wondering, these are old rosé bottles that I repurposed and cleaned them up and used them for olive oil, which is wonderful. Okay, so I have my sliced mushrooms. I'm going to bring this to pretty decent heat. Just warm this up. And I'm just going to gently saute my mushrooms. I'm going to take a quick look at my croutons, or sliced bread with a little olive oil. Alright, let's drop these guys in. And what we're going to do, we're just going to cook it lightly, because these are going to be garnishment. But you need to season them, and you need to make sure you have a little olive oil on both sides of it. But we're just going to drop it like that. Let me get my salt. You know, and I have a lot of salts, different salts, but just going to drop a little salt in there. There you go. Okay. I'm just going to saute these, and I'll show you what that looks like. We'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back. So 30 minutes. This is sauteing gently. I am going to remove, I'm going to give it a little dunk, and remove my vegetables, my herbs. Add a little piece left there. Now, herbs will float, so if you see a rosemary float in there, I'm just going to pick those. Oh, that's a mushroom. One more. See how easy that is? Just spot. They'll float, so it's easy to spot. Okay, so you see my mushrooms? They're sauteed. I could turn off the heat. I'm just going to remove it from the heat. And actually, I'm just going to turn those over so they brown on the other side. And look how beautiful that is. I don't know if you can see that. Look how beautiful that is. Alright. Let's check on our croutons, because everything's coming together now. We still got time. Alright. Let's turn the heat off on this. Now, you can put this in a food processor. You can put this in a blender. You can get one of these, which is super easy. Yeah, yes, old school says, remove it, drain it, put it back in a clean, no, doesn't matter. I've done it. It doesn't taste any different. Just do it this way. Save you a lot of time. Boom. I'm going to puree this. And it's going to be magic. Now this is going to take a couple minutes, and I'm sure you don't want to hear that noise. So we'll be back in a second. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, so I really pureed this to death. Now 2-3 tablespoons of butter in. I'm going to add some heavy cream, about a cup. That's about a cup. Now I'm going to keep mixing this. Alright. We can get rid of this thing. Drop it right there. We're going to take our spoon. Now, this is going to shock my subscribers because to my subscribers, they're used to me always using coarse black pepper, freshly grounded. And I could use this for this, but I want a little milder taste to it. So I'm going to take some white pepper, and I'm going to put about, a half a teaspoon. Drop it in there. Now, if you guys watch my videos, what's the most important thing you do? You always taste. So we're going to just blend this in a little bit. I wish you guys could smell this. It's just, we can't capture smell in videos, which is a shame because it's a beautiful thing. All right, I got my tasting spoon. I'm going to just take a little bit. Oh yeah, that's good. But it's going to need a little more heavy cream. And by the way, people go, oh, heavy cream? Huge calories. It's not that much. Really isn't. Look it up. Alright, I'm going to put the heat back on. And I'm going to put it all the way to the lowest setting. And I'm going to bring this back to a simmer. But I'm not done here. I'm still tasting. Oh my gosh, look at that soup. Take a little bit. Needs salt. So I'm going to go with light salt. This is a fleur de lis from France. It's just light salt. I mean, you could use any salt, but this just gives it a little flavor. If you go to France, yeah, get this. Taste the salt. You can tell the difference. I know, people are going, salt, salt. It's not. Salt tastes different. Literally, France has different regions that they harvest sea salt, and they have different flavors, which is wonderful. All right, let's give that a taste. Oh yeah, that did it. Okay, so I'm just going to keep this to a simmer until I'm ready to serve. I'm going to put it in one of these guys, and I'm going to drop some mushrooms on top and garnish it. But you know what I'll do for you guys? I'll just put it in a little bowl and show you what you could do it if you're just doing individual. And then I'll take a picture of that, what that looks like. But yeah, you're done. This is optional. You have some wonderful croutons that you could serve that with. And yeah, I'm just bringing this back to a simmer. Do not let it come to a boil. Do not. And you might want to just take the side here and just pull it in a little bit like that. Okay, folks, we're ready to serve. I will show you what that looks like in a little minute. To serve this, And oh my gosh, it's creamy, delicious. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. All right. I'm gonna add a little parsley on there on top just to make it beautiful. I'm gonna take those sautéed mushrooms I did. I'm gonna drop it just to give it a little loveliness there. Serving it with some toasted bread and baguettes. I'm going to put a little bit of cheese. I'm not going to overdo it. Just a tad of Parmesan. You can use Gruyere, whatever you like. But look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Bonne soirée, bon appétit, subscribe, like, share with the world, and most importantly, try this recipe. You'll enjoy it. And don't be afraid to change it. I'm all loving that. Anyways, bonsoir.